Hello everyone, Hamza here again with Solomon Group. So I'm actually back at the Dar Global office and I want to go over one specific property with you guys here at IDA. I want to actually go more in depth into Marriott residences. I want to tell you guys everything about the Marriott residences, what some of the benefits could be for you to invest in it and to live in it. But I want to bring in Aryan as always. Aryan.
Hi.
How are you doing, Ayan? Nice to see you again. Always. Thanks for joining us. We want to go in depth into Marriott residences.
Sure.
So we'd like you to tell us, our viewers, everything about Marriott residences and why it's one of the best investments and one of the best brands to invest in here in Oman and especially in IDA.
Actually, as you know, Marriott Group is one of the biggest hospitality brand in the world, including Sheraton Hotel, W Hotel, JW Marriott, and different brands they have. So we have exclusive contract with them, and we have the very first Marriott branded residences in Oman history in IDA project. So we have two buildings with Marriott brand. We call them Marriott residences.
Okay.
They are fully furnished, a la carte services, and management is Marriott residences. In IDA, yes. And regarding the name of Marriott, because it's Airbnb approved, and the amenities and the services they are providing, so one of the best investments available right now in the IDA project is Marriott. This is the phase 1 of IDA project, as you know, but the Marriott residences is a part of the phase 2. We have two buildings in this area, building A and building B, with Marriott residences. We call them Marriott residences. They are 9 floors. 2 bedroom are facing direct to sea, and 1 bedroom are facing Gulf. And we have 8 1 bedroom and 6 2 bedroom and 2 3 bedroom in the corner in the penthouse of each building. The handover of Marriott residences is September 2029, and the starting price for 1 bedroom apartment is around 122,000 Omani Riyal, and 2 bedroom apartment is starting price of 181,000. The service charge of the building is 12 Omani Riyal per square meter annually, and the services amenities you're receiving is butlery, doorman, maintenance, recreation, fitness, pool, and lots of amenities and facilities we are providing in the building, and they are managing by Marriott Residences. Also, the payment plan of Marriott Residences is 20% down payment and 15% for 3 years. For, let's say, a client book right now in December, so they need to pay 15% next December, 15% December 2027 and 2028, and 35% on handover. This is the clubhouse. So these Marriott buildings are surrounding by golf courses, and also they have a clubhouse near to the facilities of the building. And who's investing in Marriott's, they are eligible to using for social free membership, which is a spa, swimming pool, and gym of the clubhouse forever.
All right, guys. So one of the things I want to mention actually about these Marriott residences, there are actually 2 buildings, as Aryan mentioned, Building A and Building B. Building A is what is for sale now. There is still some availability in Building A left. Really, with Building A, you're still getting some of the best pricing. As Building B opens up next year in 2026, the prices will obviously be a little bit higher. So it is still a good opportunity for you guys now to jump onto Building A because there's still some availability and some of the best prices. But the other thing that I really want to talk to you guys about, I hope you guys can kind of see the location and how close this is to the water. And the reason that matters is because from these Marriott apartments and residences, you will actually have some of the best views. So as I look around in IDA, IDA is a very premium luxury location, really designed to get you best views of the water. But if you see even the apartment buildings that are in the back, they're actually a lot farther away from the water. So really the placement of these buildings, these Marriott residences being closer to the water is really an ideal factor in terms of the location and you being actually be able to see from your balcony, having a good clear view of the sea. I do want to talk about the name Marriott. So the brand itself for Marriott, this is we all know, we've all heard of Marriott. They have hotels all over the place. So now over here, being able to buy something in a building that is branded Marriott, it actually brings a lot of value to your investment. So that's something you always want to think about these days. We do see all around the world, builders are partnering with brands to bring that extra bit of value to their building and to their location, and that's what you have here. And that's something you do want to think about. Do you want something in a building that has no name to it, or do you want to buy something with a very substantial name and a well-known name like a Marriott? And this truly really does bring a lot of value into your investment. Another really important aspect with Marriott residences is that these are serviced apartments. So what are serviced apartments? Serviced apartments are basically apartments where you get all services included, with your investment as part of the maintenance fee that you pay. That means housekeeping. Someone comes in and cleans your apartment for you, changes out your sheets and your pillowcases, all of that kind of stuff. It also means having, maintenance staff, on call. So anything happens with your apartment, any kind of leaks, any kind of, maintenance type items, you can call engineering and you can call people that will help fix anything in the apartment. So it's like a very hassle-free living, essentially. Basically one call gets you someone to come in and basically look after your entire apartment for you, including, concierge services. You have room service. If you want to order some food, there'll be a restaurant downstairs as well. Okay, another really important point that I get asked this question a lot. With owning a Marriott apartment in the Marriott residences, it's really up to you how much you want to stay in this apartment. So for example, if you plan to stay in Muscat, Oman, and you want to stay in your apartment in the Marriott residences for, let's say, 3 months out of the year, you can do that. If you want to live 6 months out of the year, you can do that. Or let's say you want to live here year long, you can do that as well. But let's say you're not planning to be here all year. Let's say you only want to use it for, let's say, 1 month out of the year. I'm just giving an example. The rest of the 11 months, you can have them do Airbnb. So you can make money through your investment here. So Aryan, you were mentioning something about the rewards program with the Marriott points or the Marriott status. So what is that about?
So we have a reward program for Marriott residences. Whoever invests in Marriott, they will receive Gold Elite status for Bonvoy Marriott for 2 years.
Bonvoy, right? That's yeah. Okay.
Yes. And it will be, as some conditions, it's had this opportunity to extend more than 2 years. Yes.
Okay, so just to recap, if they purchase something here,
yes,
they will get 2 years of the Bonvoy Marriott gold status given to them. Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. So while we have Aryan here, we figured we'd take his time and ask him more questions. So Aryan, since we have you and we have this opportunity, can you tell us why should people invest in AIDA or specifically Marriott residences? What are some of the features that you feel like really make this investment stand out?
Sure. We are talking about a country with 6 million population and the inflation 0 to 1%. So the first question mark for an investor is how can I have appreciation and a good ROI in the country look like Oman, because it's just thriving. So the answer is AIDA. Why? Because we are doing a luxury development in east of Muscat. The location is up the mountain, 130 meters above the sea level. And we are developing a big land with 3 different phases and the branded developments. So we have, until now, we have in the phase 2, the Marriott residences with us. In the phase 1, we have Fendi Casa with us. So we are talking about the very first branded residences in Oman, the very first branded development in Oman. And those words and those names as make lots of passion in the markets and just going through for a good appreciation and a good ROI. That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I mean, one of the things, just to expand on that, you mentioned that you guys are bringing in these known names. You have the Marriott residences, you partner with Fendi and some other partners as well. And that's something unique, that brings like that name recognition, to this area, and which actually doesn't exist right now, right? So I think you guys being the pioneers with this, I think it's going to set you guys apart. And yeah, if somebody wants to live in a Marriott building, you have to come to AIDA to come get it. All right, guys. So actually, I was speaking with Aryan, and Aryan, you mentioned something about financing and how people can get financing for a purchase here at the Marriott residences. Can you tell us more about this?
Sure. Recently, Sohar International Bank in Oman announced a mortgage up to 250,000 Omani Riyal
Okay.
for the clients overseas. So if you are non-resident in Oman and you want to invest in an ITC area, so you may be eligible for the finance up to 50% of the property value your investment for 10 years.
Okay.
But the eligibility, the first and major elements is one of these. First, you need to have a business overseas with 25,000 income per year, 25,000 Omani Riyal income per year, or you may have a salary for 5,000 Omani Riyal monthly.
Okay.
So with one of these two, you will be eligible for the financing up to 250,000 Omani Riyal for 10 years.
Okay.
And the interest rate is 6%.
Okay, so you're saying up to 250,000. That is the maximum that they're lending.
Yes.
So let's say you end up getting something for around 200,000 or a little under 200,000. Let's say a 2-bedroom Marriott residences.
Yeah.
You're saying if they have paid, let's say, if they have paid down 50% or almost about 100,000 Omani Riyal,
Yeah.
the other 100,000 they can borrow from Solar International.
Exactly. And they need to proceed the first 50% through the developer payment plan.
Okay.
So let's say in the Marriott payment plan is 20% down payment and 15% for 3 years, 3 different years. So they need to pay 20% down payment. After the first payment, it will be 35%. They need to pay another 15%. They will reach to the 50% and they can apply for a loan.
Right. And you mentioned that the handover payment at the handover time is 35%?
35%.
So it could also be that final payment they have, the remaining 35% that is due at the very end, which is the handover, that is also something that they can finance over 10 years.
Yes.
For that, just that remaining 35%.
Exactly.
So people can kind of budget for, coming out of pocket for, let's say, between 50 to 65% of the total price of the unit. And then that final payment, let's finance that. If this is something that you guys choose to do, obviously this is not something that's a personal decision. It's totally up to you guys if this is something that makes sense for you and you're okay with this type of thing. But I know some people do ask us, so we wanted to bring that up.
Yes.
Well.
Okay.
Right, Aryan, thank you so much again for hosting us and giving us all the details about Marriott Residences and AIDA in general.
Always pleasure.
Thank you so much. And guys, again, just to quickly recap, I do think it's a really good investment opportunity. You're investing in a serviced apartment, which means your apartment will be serviced regularly and, you get free furnishing with it. And quite honestly, I was thinking about this, the price difference between getting in a Marriott residence apartment versus in a non-branded apartment in this area in general is actually not that much different. So for just a little bit more, you get the name recognition of being in a Marriott residences. You get a fully furnished unit, you get the servicing. And, we guys talked about a little bit about the service fee as well. They're not that much, about 100 Riyal per month, which is about $250 for a 2-bedroom. So very reasonable for having a fully furnished and serviced apartment. We talked about the location as well on how close it is to the sea. So, you guys get that really nice close-up view of the sea as well from your balcony. We still have some units available in Building A, and Building B will be opening up next week as well. So, all of these things contribute to me, I think, like a really good investment opportunity here in AIDA into Marriott Residences. Another thing that we did talk about is, it really gives you the flexibility to stay here as much as you want or to not stay as much or as little as you want. So that's another very key important point, really giving you that flexibility on however long you want to live here. And the time that you're not here, using that time to generate income for yourself. So I think it's a great investment opportunity. If you guys are interested, definitely reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to bring you guys here to the AIDA site and introduce you to Aryan as well. We can also go to the site and visit the site in person. Construction has begun. Like Aryan mentioned, they are planning to deliver around the mid of 2029. So right now is a really good time to come in, make this investment here in Muscat, Oman in a branded residence, and it'll be a good investment for you, inshallah.